Abarera Legos Ram Ori Banish C10 Demonio Dinaja 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 Abarera Legos Ram Abarera Nikos Ram Ori Banish C10 Demonio Dinaja Abarera Nikos Ram Ori.
What is up, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Take a mic. Input here. There we go. That's a little bit more stable. How's it going, everybody? So, flying solo today. Apparently so is Mystic. Mystic is, I believe, in the air still right now. But it's okay. It's okay. All things are good. So usually how all this kind of works, right? Let me turn down this a little bit more. There we go. There we go. So usually how this works is Mystic and I bounce off of each other and kind of develop a conversation going that way. But what I kind of wanted to use, like, the opportunity for tonight with, is to kind of talk about kind of like my overall overarching stance and like ideas of the occult in general, and just kind of get those out there. Also specifically the left-hand path. So what I mean by that is earlier on in the show, we talked a lot about occult unification. We talked about kind of unifying kind of the banner of the occult, right? And for some reason, some people took issue with the idea or concept of unification. And I think one thing that this show has done, like, I don't know if you could say to me or for me, is with the perpetual amount of content that I need to watch to kind of stay on top of things. I saw a lot of things that generally get swept under the rug, what a lot of people don't pay attention to, right? Like the evangelicals, their constant bombardment of underhanded, violent suggestion of how people should deal with occultists or witches and things of that nature. And seeing all of that toxic behavior, all that violent behavior, really kind of opened my eyes to, unfortunately, what we're actually up against. And it's nice to kind of, like, before all of this, before starting the show and before kind of looking into all of this stuff, it was nice to kind of sit there and say, yeah, there's always going to be jackasses out there. Yeah, there's always going to be people out there that are going to say stupid shit. Yeah, there's always going to be people out there that are, you know, against occultism and this, that, and the next thing, and not really think much beyond that, right? That, you know, these Karen type individuals are always going to exist, right? And it's true, they are always going to exist. But to get the full spectrum of how violent some of these people are, like, you all like when I do my reactions to Melinda and things like that, and, you know, those are, you know, good fun to make, you know. But Melinda's like the tip of the iceberg, right? Melinda's irritating as fuck, but she's not dangerous. I mean, she's not directly in immediate danger to occultists. There are people out there that are just like, some of the stuff that people say is just absolutely ridiculous. And so consuming this content and watching, actually having to sit through videos and watch all of these ideas and these concepts kind of unfold in front of me, the amount of hatred and vitriol that, you know, my bedtime ASMR. There you go. You know, the amount of vitriol these people are spewing, it's legitimately concerning. Yeah, Melinda's the crazy blonde psychic lady with the vomit-inducing pink room. So it's disturbing to me, and the reason it's disturbing to me, kind of like everything that I've come across, is because these aren't things that most of us are actively going to be looking for, right? And this is the key thing, right? Most of us want to stay in our lane, we want to do our shit, and we want to be left the fuck alone. And that's exactly how, you know, to live, at least in my opinion, a decently calm life, right? Is stay in your lane, do your shit, you know, and be done with it. But when you kind of take a step out of that, because obviously, like, the content that I make, right, is directly around that, right? And the thing is most of the time when I look for videos or topics that I want to talk about, you know, I don't really find like a lot of, you know, occult YouTubers. I mean, there's a shit ton of them, but most of the shit that pops up for me is, you know, ways to spot a witch, how to kill a witch, why killing a witch is okay, you know, how to end, you know, Satan's reign and, you know, destroy witches and witchcraft. You know, these are actual video titles, right? I mean, I just do general YouTube searches. See, the thing is, that's the thing though, right? If you stay, so one of the biggest things that I've always said that this show is about is not being in an echo chamber, right? So a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll look for contrary viewpoints and just see, you know, how I feel about that contrary viewpoint. So when you stay on pro-witch communities or things that are pro-occultist or pro-left-hand path or pro-Satanist and stuff like that, you're going to stay pretty far away from these people, right? And as you should want to stay far away from these people. But the problem with staying away from these people is what happens inside the community. We become naive to how deep this poison actually runs through the well. Right? I tried to. I tried to get her on the show. I tried to go on her show. Right? And then she lied about it, and there's videos on it. There's videos on it. I'm not even going to get into it. Oh, that was a fun exchange. Yeah, no, Melinda won't listen to anybody. But you know, so it's just when you stay completely outside and out of touch with what is happening in general, what ends up happening is we end up falling into the curse of naivety, right? Believing that these people are nothing more than, you know, a few idiots in the mall that are going to say that you're going to burn in hell, right? And unfortunately, it's going well beyond that. And how do we see this, right? What's the proof that it's going well beyond this, beyond speech, beyond talk, right? Well, in less than a year, they've tried to bomb and burn down the Satanic Temple in Salem, Massachusetts, right? In less than a year. They've completely destroyed the guide stones with the support of the one of the local running senators. Like, somebody was trying to be a senator. They weren't even fucking elected yet. I don't even know if they ever actually did get elected. Destruction of public property, or destruction of, I guess you could say, private property, again, against the Satanic Temple. And I mean, why is the Satanic Temple getting the brunt of it? You might think, well, this is just against the Satanic Temple. No, it's just the Satanic Temple is kind of like the most public and outward speaking form of occultism that's kind of out there, right? It's really kind of forcing themselves into people's faces, right? It's the place that people know, right? Right? They know where it is. They know where the headquarters are, right? They know that they set up, their Christmas thing every year, in different states, right? Their religious display every year in different states. And every year that they've set one up, doesn't matter the state, somebody's defaced it, destroyed it, something of that nature. And the problem is, people keep looking at these like isolated incidents. The guide stones were destroyed, and the destruction was supported by government in the area. The Ohio, I believe it was in Ohio, the Ohio religious scene that the Satanic Temple set up was destroyed by somebody involved in government or previously involved in government, right? And was completely bailed out. Like, the amount of money that motherfucker got on his GoFundMe, after committing a crime was ridiculous. And it's kind of reading the signs, right? It's like, you guys have heard the phrase, read the room, right? Read the room. Figure out what the fuck is going on. Read the room. And because of, the show and stuff like that, I've been reading the room for probably about a good 2 years now. Right? And it's not getting any better. Right? The more of these people that are out there talking about the destruction of witchcraft, the destruction of witches, putting on, God's armor and going to war for God, a lot of these people believe it, like literally believe it, like not just like in a spiritual sense, but in a physical sense, right? And so when I started talking about occult unification, because I don't believe that, violence in the sense of defending oneself, I believe self-defense is extremely necessary. I believe you should always be ready to defend yourself and be willing to defend yourself, physically if necessary. But I also believe that violence begets more violence, right? Just like hate begets more hate. So I don't agree with taking an offensive standpoint and being combative off the bat. And I try to exercise this and show this in Satan and Coffee, right? So when we get somebody come in, inevitably, as they do, of the Christian folk, that, tell us that Jesus is king, or, repent and turn to Jesus and what have you, I politely engage them, right? Do not combatively engage them. Because again, I believe more like hate begets more hate. And the 2 times that this has happened so far for Satan and Coffee, I think, the guests that were there and witnessed it happen in real time Notice that both individuals eventually just kind of back down and start talking about something completely unrelated to the reason why they came into the show to begin with. But the whole point of occult unification, the idea and the concept of occult unification behind it, the reason why I think it is so important is the same reason why I think any group should unify. Right? You know, gay, lesbian, bisexual rights were extremely important. There was a unification. Now we have the LGBTQIA plus community, right? Everybody has their own direction and path that they're walking in, but they all understand that they're part of a community, right? They're a part of that community. You know, so the idea here isn't to try to get everybody under one banner and believe the same thing. For some reason, I guess that's immediately what people think about, right? We have a lot of small micro communities when it comes to occultism, and then inside of these micro communities we share people that, you know, we watch and we listen to and we learn from and things like that, you know, on YouTube and Instagram and, you know, Threads and X and all these things. You know, we have these people that, you know, we follow and we try to learn from. And we all have these kind of like these little kind of micro communities. I personally believe that there needs to be a larger overarching banner that we stand under together for the sake of being able to protect ourselves and for the sake of being able to protect each other. Because right now, it's not that bad. It's livable. It's avoidable, right? And that's kind of like the big thing, right? That's the big thing right there. It's avoidable. We can avoid it. We can ignore it. We can live in naivety and still feel safe because it's still avoidable. The idea of talking about occult unification and unifying under a larger banner as a community is the idea and the concept of being preventative, right? Prevent the time, right, to be preemptive in preventing danger from occurring. So this is just like one of the things that I kind of like wanted to kind of talk about and go over in greater detail. Because I do think that after seeing everything that I've seen, everything that I've watched, shit's getting crazy, guys. Shit's getting crazy. Now, who do we have in here? Let's see here. I want to say hi to some people. We got Tree Sap, we got Sad World, Curse, Linda, wait, Dyra, Gray, Hale, Aaron Page, Happy Friday. Hope you all are doing well. And I'm not trying to fearmonger here. I don't want people to be afraid of Christians. I don't want people to be afraid of Christianity and things like that, because again, fear can bring hate about as well. Right? We don't need to be hating people, but I just want us to be safe, and it is something that greatly concerns me. Like people, like I said, like people like Melinda is just like the tip of the iceberg. Melinda's just somebody that doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Right? She gets all of her information out of movies and fictional books and then spins it like she actually knows what's going on. Right? That's what Melinda does. Is it fear-mongering? Is it potentially dangerous? It can be, but it's not an immediate danger. You get somebody like John Ramirez. John Ramirez is terrifying. right? John Ramirez is like probably one of the worst when it comes to like these evangelical extremists. So, thank you, Gray. I greatly appreciate that. I do appreciate that. I don't want to stay on that topic all night, though. I mean, I did want to mention that. The next thing I want to bring up and talk to you guys about, because I keep forgetting to talk about it. Well, she actually says violent tendencies towards people. Yeah, I mean, she does do that. I mean, there is that. I have seen a few videos out there for being kind of aggressive towards people that disagree with her or she disagrees with. Yeah, exactly. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, that the last few shows I've completely forgot to bring this up and talk about it at length, is Witch Skills, witchskills.com, guys. So me and a few other people she's been deleting. She always deletes a lot of comments. Or what she does is she makes it so nobody else can see your comments except for her. Like, she'll just completely kind of like block you on the page. Like, you can still leave a comment, but nobody's going to see it. So no one interacts with it, right? So censorship at its best. So Witch Skills is a online occult university, or academy rather, that me and a few other people are setting up. So right now it is myself, Black Witch Dyra, Mystic Salon, and Dragon Dancer that are all working collaboratively to make this thing happen. So one of the things that I always wanted with, and this is going to sound kind of stupid because I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I love the idea of Hogwarts. I thought Hogwarts was such a cool idea. And I wanted to make something that could be pushed commercially. Like, I know that there are other academies, there's other courses, things like that. But they're few and far between, and I don't think they don't standardize the way that we're standardizing, right? So just to go over a little bit here, right? Currently we are working on 5 different programs. Okay, so we have occult studies, satanic studies, herbal magic studies, demonology studies, and a new one that I kind of threw in, which is actually a 2-year program broken into 4 semesters, is divination studies. Divination studies is a big one. It's big. But we'll start with occult studies, right? So each of these, how this is broken up, it's broken up like a university would be broken up, right? So they're broken up into semesters, right? So each program, I call them courses, but apparently Mystic had corrected me and told me that it's not a course. A course is a short-term thing. A program is a long-term thing. So trying to be active and, about this, right? So awesome. You just landed at the airport. Great. So the occult studies is broken up into 4 semesters, right? And each semester is 2 months, right? So the way we have it broken down, semester 1 is Introduction to Occult Studies. Semester 2, Practical Occultism, right? Semester 3, Comparative Studies. Semester 4, Advanced Topics, okay? So what are some of these topics and things that we get into? So for first semester, week 1 and 2 is an overview of occultism, definition and historical overview, different branches and traditions. 3 and 4, key concepts, magic, mysticism and symbolism, esotericism, and occult philosophy. Weeks 5 and 6, foundational texts. So the study of influential occult texts. So the Kabbalion, things of that nature. Weeks 7 and 8, the Hermetic tradition, right? Hermeticism and its principles, the role of Hermes, right? So things like this, like breaking it down and standardizing it. Now, this isn't to say that this is the only thing that exists in this realm and this focus, right? We know that occultism is a very large, overarching kind of idea, right? And there's a lot to it. What this is designed to do is to give a solid foundation to someone that really wants to understand these things on a deeper level, right? Hence the go through, right? So nothing is focused on to a point of ridiculousness or like absolute, like, you know, detail, but enough to provide the person with an understanding of those concepts, of those ideas, of those philosophies, of those theories. Right? When we get into semester 2, which is practical occultism, weeks 1 and 2 would be rituals and spellcasting, understanding and creating rituals, practical spellcasting techniques. Weeks 3 and 4, divination, tarot, astrology, and other divination methods, interpreting symbols and signs. Weeks 5 and 6, alchemy, historical context and symbolism, practical alchemical processes, right? Weeks 7 and 8, right? Theurgy and invocation, right? Contacting spiritual entities, ethical considerations in the practice, right? And things that go through. Semester 3, comparative studies, right? Weeks 1 and 2, comparative religion and mythology, right? Examining common themes across cultures, myths and symbols in occultism, right? Weeks 3 and 4, occultism in different cultures, right? Eastern and Western perspectives, African, Native American, and indigenous occult traditions, right? Oh, I just lost my place. Right there, right? Weeks 5 and 6, the modern occult movement, right? Theosophy, Golden Dawn, Wicca, and others, contemporary occult practices. Weeks 7 and 8, ethics and responsibility, discussing ethical considerations in occult practices, responsible use of occult knowledge, right? These are some of the topics are going to be gone over, right? We're talking about kind of like our general occult studies here, okay? And then we get into the advanced topics. So we have psychic development, so exploring psychic abilities, techniques for enhancing intuition, astral projection and dream work, right? Techniques for astral travel, dream interpretation, and occultism. Weeks 5 and 6, sacred geometry and numerology, understanding the significance of symbols, numerology, and occult practices, right? And then final project and review, right? So, which would be weeks 7 and 8 in the 4th semester, right? So, and in each one of these programs, the idea with these programs is you go through the program, right? There's quizzes, there's reviews, there's exams, and at the end, there is a certification process, right? You become certified in that area. Okay? Yes, as soon as Mystic is done with the tarot course, then he'll be working on the occult studies as well. Mystic is doing an elective which is focused on tarot, which would be included. An aspect of it anyway would be including it into the divination studies. The divination studies, I'm not going to go through it right now because I feel like it still needs to be kind of like broken down. The divination studies program is a 2-year program broken into 4 semesters. So Mystic and I need to kind of go through that and look at that and kind of break that down a little bit more, and make it something a little bit more, I think, digestible. Because I mean, this one we're going to go into, like, I mean, there's numerology 1 and 2 and 3, dowsing, I Ching, palmistry, scrying, astrology, runes, tarot. Like there's just so much to go through. Like I tried to be as comprehensive as I possibly could with the divination studies program, but there's still so much that can't be touched on that we have to kind of go through it and break it down and make it more digestible. So Mystics Tarot course is an elective course. Okay. So that's, if I'm not mistaken, his tarot course would be about a 13-week course, 12 to 13-week course, for understanding and kind of enhancing your ability to work in tarot, on a much deeper level, right? Also, satanic studies. So again, pretty much the same kind of like breakdown. It's 1 year, 4 semesters, right? So we have our overview of Satanism, founding figures and texts, LaVeyan Satanism, modern satanic organizations, theistic Satanism, Luciferianism, historical perspectives, controversies and misconceptions, ethics in Satanism, comparative religion, popular culture and Satanism, and then we have a research project. Then there's Satanism and social activism, emerging trends in Satanism, final projects and presentations, course review, and future directions. So that is the satanic studies. Okay. Herbal magic, which will be done by Dragon Dancer. Dragon Dancer is the professor for the herbal magic studies. What we're looking at, I'm really excited about the occult studies. Have a library of research. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Like, I mean, so the whole point of Witch Skills, is to create something that somebody that is already seasoned in the occult can still take advantage of, but also perfectly aligned for someone that's just getting into it, that's really taking it seriously, right? And very specifically in these, right, there are areas focused on, especially like in herbal studies, you know, herbal magic studies, we're talking about, you know, potion making, things of that nature. Obviously, we were very happy that Dragon Dancer was willing to be on board because she is a certified herbalist, meaning she's not going to have you go get anything that's going to kill you, which is very important because having a student die is not on the to-do list, right? Because they grabbed something that they shouldn't have grabbed in the forest. So we're very thankful that Dragon Dancer is part of this, right? And another thing that, you know, half the stuff outside your door can kill you. Yep. No doubt. So, yeah. So I'm very, very happy that, you know, Dragon Dancer is on board with this. And which is why I am not touching the herbal magic program. That is all Dragon Dancer. I mean, I know a little bit here and a little bit there, but not enough to teach anyone anything, right? So, hand off. Yeah, exactly. So, we're all very excited about this and what we're creating and what we're making here. And we really want all of you to be a part of it. In August, we're planning on doing a soft launch and providing like a first couple of weeks of a couple of the programs for free for you guys to give us feedback on what you think about what's being produced, what's being made, right? So that will be available to a few of you, right? If you're interested in having access to the soft launch, okay, either DM me or DM Mystic, okay, if you're interested in being part of the soft launch, okay? See, these are the things. These are the things that we need to know. Right. So yeah. So send me a DM in Discord, or send Mystic a DM in Discord. If you're interested in being part of the soft launch, if you want to have access to a couple weeks worth of, you know, the courses, so we can guys, we can get your feedback and your ideas, you know, on what we're doing and what we're producing and stuff like that. So we're hoping to be able to have a hard launch for this going into October, towards the end of October. I'm shooting for October 31st. Yes, All Hallows Eve, Samhain. Okay, hoping to have, you know, the hard launch then. So that's the thing. Another advertising plug here. So here's another thing. So for those of you that don't know, Christoph Bathory, the singer of Dawn of Ashes. If you guys are into metal, industrial metal, you might know who Dawn of Ashes is. You might not. But the singer, in conjunction with me, with myself, and Lovelace Cosmetics, actually have produced a occult-focused eyeshadow palette. I'm very happy about it. If you're wondering what it looks like, you can look it up on Instagram. It's Bathory_cosmetics, right? And you get all the screenshots and all that stuff of the actual product. So this palette is modeled after the clip-off, right? So each color is associated to a demonic entity, right? So if you guys are wondering, the logo and the palette design I did myself, right? Per Christoph's request, right? So in conjunction, the three of us kind of produced this eyeshadow palette, specifically kind of targeted towards, you know, the goth. Shiny, are you looking at it? The kind of like focused on the kind of like the goth occultist, right? We just thought it was a really cool idea, you know, and take that as the associated colors for each demonic entity and kind of put that in order, right? So it's a limited run. So if I'm not mistaken, there's only about 100 of these things, to maybe 200 of these things, right? So if you want it, get it, because once it's gone, it's gone. And I think it's super cool. I mean, I fucking designed it, right? I sure as hell I think it was cool, right? So yeah, so I designed it in conjunction with Christoph and Lovelace Cosmetics, which is Victoria Lovelace. So the three of us kind of got together and made that thing happen. So yeah, go to Instagram and then look up Bathory_cosmetics. And if you want to buy the palette, go to lovelacecosmetics.com. I believe it is. And that's where it's being sold, right? Let's see here. Yep. TreeSap got it. So, yeah, I think I love how it looks. I think it looks fucking amazing. You know, a lot of love and energy went into making that. I designed the logo. I designed the clip off that's, you know, that's on the that is the palette itself. So, you know, it comes in a nice cardboard sleeve with a holographic logo on it. right? So yeah, if you guys are into it, go for it, right? Yes, yes, yes. I 100% designed that. Everything on it I designed. So something I'm very proud of. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you guys are, if you want to get like an occult focused eyeshadow palette, then please, go ahead and pick one up. Like I said, it's a limited run, right? So there's between like 100 to 200 of these things. Once they're gone, that's it. You need a new makeup palette? There you go. There you go. Curse. Pick up the clip off, right? So there's that. And honestly, like when it comes to, oh, thank you. Honestly, like when it comes to, cosmetics, I mean, Lovelace Cosmetics is, eyes are indeed windows to the soul. 100%. So, we all thought it was a good idea. I mean, honestly, like makeup is the purest form of, glamour magic, right? Makeup is like the simplest form of glamour magic. Haven't really seen many palettes kind of lean into the occult, right? Really. And so we thought it would be a really great idea to, go left-hand path, clip off, and make each color associated with a demonic entity on the clip off. So that is exactly what we did. And I think it came out absolutely fucking splendidly. Yes. So, yeah, if that's what you guys are looking for, if any of you are looking for a new palette, something like that, then by all means, please pick one up. All right, go for it. Well, one of the things that I try to do, like one of the things I want to do with all of this, with Satan and Coffee, with Apocrypha, with the channel, the social media, I want to interject occultism in more areas of our lives where we regularly use it, right? But for some reason, we don't really have anything that really leans into the occult, right? That makes us feel like we're using something that's truly connected, to that part of ourselves, right, in our day-to-day lives. So there's the makeup palette that's done. I'm very close to making an occult-based line of coffee. I mean, come on. I run a show called Satan and Coffee. I can't not have coffee, right? So if you guys are into coffee, that's going to be something that's happening soon. The book is done. Just needs some extra editing. The Oracle deck is done, right? So those are going to be, there's going to be a big announcement for that being released soon. And those that paid up front will be finally getting your copies of it. Okay. So I'm excited for them. Just truly very excited for that. So yeah. Also, like, again, guys, threadsforthedead.com. If you want to support the show, yes, you did. You caught us again, even though us is just me this time. Oh, hell yeah, Dragon Dancer. 100%. Without that, that's not even a question. Of course. So, all of this, I want to kind of like put the occult in all of these places. And again, like I said, threadsforthedead.com, guys. If you want to support the show and get like something immediately back, buy a t-shirt. If you guys got an idea for a cult related t-shirt that you want to see, let me know what your idea is. DM me. Hey, Adius, I got this idea, for a shirt. What do you think? Can you make this happen? Right? And I'll figure out a way to do it. Now, it might not happen the next day, but it is definitely something, I would definitely be open to doing. Divination Witch, if you're looking for a new eyeshadow palette, me, Christoph Bathory, and Victoria Lovelace of Lovelace Cosmetics all got together and we created a eyeshadow palette completely based around the clip-off. It's Bathory Cosmetics. It can be purchased on lovelacecosmetics.com. Treesap was nice enough to drop the link in the chat up towards the top there. So I think I can do that again. Oop, no, I think I closed it. Oh, no. Here it is. Found it. And it's currently on discount. Oh, thank you, Treesap. You're way ahead of me. So, yeah. That is something I'm really proud of. I think it came out great. I designed the whole thing. So I designed the logo. I designed the packaging. I designed the clip-off that goes inside of the case itself. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, anything you guys are looking to, you want to throw some support around and you want to get something really cool in return, Threads for the Dead, Lovelace Cosmetics, those are great ways to support, right? Yeah, so I designed the whole thing. It was super fun. Super fun to work with Christoph, the singer Dawn of Ashes, to kind of put that together. And then, for, Victoria Lovelace of Lovelace Cosmetics to actually make it happen, to make the physical palette, with the people that she knows in production, right? So, and the colors are on point. Like, so from the colors that I designed in, the Photoshop design, what I designed in, 1 second. So with the colors that I designed in the actual Photoshop and stuff like that. Hold on a second, chat. 1 second. Speaking of gremlins, I was just rudely interrupted by mine. So the colors are actually like right on point to how I designed them to be, right? In connection with, each demonic entity. So with that being said, guys, I know today was kind of like a promotion stream and just a random rambling, but I had fun. That is going to be it for today. All right. I'm going to end it right here. All right. You guys are fucking amazing. Like, I love you guys. You're the reason I do this. All of this. Right. If any of you guys do pick up the palette or you pick up something, at Threads for the Dead, throw it in the Discord. Let us see it. Right. Rep that shit. Right. Be proud. Be proud of who you are. And as always, motherfuckers, hail thy fucking selves. See you in the fucking next one. Peace the fuck out, guys.